Okie dokie. So, hopefully y'all can hear me okay. This is week 1 of 4, so we'll work out the nooks and crannies and all that stuff as we go along. So, whether if you're joining us live or after the fact, I'm Reverend Marcus J. Pernell. I'm the youth pastor at First Baptist Frankfort, and this is session number 1 of 4 with our Jinso Yoga sessions that we'll be doing for the next, including tonight, 4 weeks. So I'll do this every single week, but just for the sake of communication and transparency, all that fun stuff, just to let you know a few different things. Number 1, I am recording these sessions just for people who are not able to join us live. So you don't have to worry about like your name and info and all that being like put out there on the World Wide Web. It's just going to be my screen recorded. So if that's an issue, fret not. Just to let you all know that. And then number 2, I'm currently going through a yoga instruction training that I complete in April of next year. So I'm not an actual yoga instructor. I'm working on it. I'm like 3 months into it. Yes, 3 months. So doing things like this just helps me get my teaching feet wet and things of that nature. And it's just something, it's like, why not? Let's just go for it. And then as far as getting into the practice itself, if you've never, regardless if you've ever done yoga, if you're a practicing yogi, you've never done it before, whatever, I would definitely invite you to meet your body where it's at. We're all in different places in life, and just to be conscientious toward that, meet your body where it's at. We may do some things throughout these sessions that may not only be new, but maybe different, maybe uncomfortable physically, mentally, emotionally, even maybe spiritually, and that's okay. Meet your body where it's at. And while we're practicing, just to make things more comfortable, if you have a yoga mat, awesome. You don't need one. You may want to have a blanket or 2 handy, maybe even a couple of pillows, or if you have a yoga bolster, if you have one. I personally don't, because I haven't gotten to that. I'm not as cool as the other yoga kids, but yeah, I want you to be comfortable. So by all means, have these things handy if those will make you feel comfortable. And number 4, and context is key here. I would like to invite you to be as present as possible. And now I can hear you right now. Now, Marcus, hang on. Easier said than done. Yes, it is. As you're able to, perhaps you turn your phone off, turn the TV off, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, you take your watch off, you eliminate and minimize as many distractions as possible. Now, again, easier said than done, very easy for me. It's just me in my apartment, nobody else. You may have other people present, you may have a dog, you may have kids. I understand that. Try to be as present as possible is what I'm trying to say. So with that in mind, to get this thing going, I would like to invite you to, hopefully y'all can still hear me. Yes, hopefully. I hope and pray. So to get this thing started, we'll actually start in an easy seated pose. This could be feet crossed. This could be double pigeon. You could go for lotus if you want, whatever is comfortable for you. And as far as your hands, maybe you have your hands palms down on your knees, you have them palms up, or if you're like my yoga teacher who likes to say it's going to be okay, maybe you bring your hands into this, hey, it's going to be okay, one way or another pose. And I'd like to invite you to close your eyes as we begin our yoga practice. And I'd also like to invite you to tilt your chin down toward your heart and to bring your shoulders down and back. And to listen to the following excerpt for you to think about as we go through our yoga practice. Where in your life do you need to pay attention and notice your breath and your breathing? Maybe it's getting stuck behind that driver who's going incredibly slow. Maybe it's the self-checkout lanes not moving fast enough because you're in a rush. Maybe it's those moments in life where we often grit our teeth and hold our breath. We all know when and where we need to notice and pay attention more to our breath and to our breathing. So as we go throughout this yoga practice, pay attention to your breath and to your breathing right here and right now. And to do that, I'd like to invite you to do the following exercise. We're going to be counting from 1 to 10. On the odd numbers, you're going to be inhaling. You can be as loud or as quiet as you want. And then on the exhale, those are going to be on the even numbers. So you're going to count in your head or out loud if you want. You're going to inhale, count to 1. On exhale, 2. Inhale, 3. Exhale, 4. So on and so forth, all the way to 10. Once you get to 10, start over again. And just go at your own pace too. Meet your body where it's at. And if you happen to lose count, just pick up where you left off, or you can start over again. And once you reach 10, I'd like to invite you to take your neck, just do some half pendulum swings, side to side. If you're like me, you might notice a lot of Rice Krispies happening, a bunch of snapping, cracking, and popping. Snap, crackle, pop. Yeah, that's Rice Krispies. And then whenever you're ready, we'll do some full neck rolls and just take your time with it. Go slow. Maybe you notice even more snap, crackling, and popping. And we'll go the other way. And then once you're done, we'll return to neutral. Do some shoulder rolls. Give the shoulders some love. You ask them to do a lot on a daily basis. Maybe they're tight. And then we'll roll the other way. Hopefully the music is not too loud. Figure that out as we go. And then with your hearts, I'd like to invite you to do some easy circles. Make some circles with your heart. Wake the hips up a little bit. Maybe you've been sitting all day at work or at home, whatever you've been doing. And then we'll go the other way. And then I'd like you to meet me back in center. We'll salute the sun, or whenever you're watching this, the moon perhaps. We're going to bring our arms out to our side. Nice deep inhale. Salute the sun or the moon. And then exhale, lower the arms. And we'll inhale. And exhale. Just do a couple on your own. You don't have to go in sync with me. You can go nice and slow. Just take your time with it. Try to coordinate your breathing with your arms. And then the next time you salute the sun, we're going to twist to the left, place the right hand on the left knee, peer over that left shoulder. Check back in with your breathing. Are you gritting your teeth? Are you holding your breath? If you are, stop it. Don't do that. Pay attention to your breathing. Can you invite a little bit of a deeper stretch too? Peering maybe a little more over that left shoulder. Excuse me. And then the next time you inhale, bring things back to center. Salute the sun again, or the moon, whichever you prefer. And then on an exhale, we'll twist to the right. Left hand, right knee. Peer over that right shoulder. Try to keep your spine nice and tall too, as you're able to. And then the next time you inhale, bring things back to center, salute the sun, and then exhale, drop them like it's hot. So now, what I'd like to invite you to do is go ahead and send your feet long in front of you. If you need to make space, oh, back to my legs are sweaty. I'm going to show the lower body a little bit of love here. So this is not a contest. Again, meet your body where it's at. What I'd like to invite you to do is take an inhale. We're going to salute the sun one more time. And then on an exhale, we're going to melt over. Now, if you can, perhaps you reach your toes. And if you're looking at me like, Marcus, what is wrong with you? I can't do that. Go for your ankles. If you can't do that, go for your shins. And if that's weird too, or not really possible, you can take your hands and just try to see how far you can slide them on the outsides of your legs. We'll just hang out here for a second or two. Can you perhaps go a little deeper? Maybe you reach for the pinky toes, or the balls of your feet. And if you can't, or that's uncomfortable, meet your body where it's at. No big deal. So the next time we inhale, or as we exhale, try as slowly as possible, just like a sloth, roll your body up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tuck my left foot in. My right leg is still long. Actually, I lied. I'm sorry. This is something else my yoga teacher says. I'm going to take my left leg and I'm just going to hold it in the air. It's like rock it back and forth, just like a little baby. And now I'm going to take my left ankle or my left foot, and I'm going to put that right on my left, or my right thigh, my right quad. I'm going to try to reach for my pinky toe. And again, if you can reach the pinky toe, awesome. If you can't, and you're like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with you? Go for the ankle. What's still wrong with you, Marcus? Go for the shin. Meet your body where it's at. And if you want to invite a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can take your left hand and actually reach it toward your big toe or the ball of your foot. Or you can crisscross. Want a nice little challenge too. So meet your body where it's at. And check back in with your breathing. Create some space in between your teeth if you're gritting them. Roll your jaw around. Now we're going to take a deep inhale. And then on an exhale, we're going to just slowly unravel. Shake the quads out a little bit, shake the legs. Shake them side to side, doesn't matter. We're going to do the same thing on the right side. I'm going to bring my shin baby in. You can name it if you want. I'm going to name my shin baby George, because why not? It's the first thing that came to mind. Just going to rock your George, rock your baby back and forth. It's nice and easy. Man, time flies by. That's okay. And just like before, I'm going to take my right foot, stack it on top of my left thigh, my left quad. I'm going to take an inhale, salute the sun, and melts over my left leg. "30 minutes, it's not enough time for this. Oh my gosh, we're flying through this." And that's okay. And then on our next inhale, or I'm going to take a deep inhale, excuse me. And then on the exhale, just going to slowly unravel, unwind, shake the legs out a little bit. So now we're going to mix things up a little bit just because it's like time. I'd like you to meet me in table pose. This is on all fours. Now, I know for some of us, I'm not saying this is the case with you all, but just if it is, this would be a good time to use your blankets or your pillow if being down on your knees is not the most comfortable thing in the world. And if you're asking your wrists to do a lot like this, you can come to your fists. And all we're going to do is some cat-cows. If you've never done that before, it looks weird. It looks kind of funny, but you know what? That's okay. Weird and funny is acceptable. So cat-cow, I'm going to basically tuck my belly button in, and then I'm going to make things nice and long. Now to coordinate your breathing, what I like to do on my exhale, I like to do cats, and then on my, yeah, that's right. No, wait, no, inhale, you inhale on the cow, exhale on the cat. There you go. And just do a few on your own. Nice and slow. Give that spine some love. So after your next cat-cow, if you want to spread your knees out a little bit, you can do that. I'm going to go into a nice, easy child's pose or puppy dog. Child's pose is like this. Puppy pose, your butt's in the air a little bit more. But all I want you to do is melt into the floor. Arms are nice and long. And check back in with your breathing. How's that? Are you breathing? Because if you're not, you need to be. Maybe you give your forehead a massage on the ground. Maybe you move hips back and forth. Maybe you crinkle your fingers together, not together, but you show them some love. What do we do next? And then we're going to take a deep inhale. And then on an exhale, two different things you can do here. We're going to come either into a seal pose, or if that's too much, come down to a sphinx. Just like how we used to watch cartoons on Saturday morning in front of the TV. I don't know if y'all did that. I did that a little bit. Just pairing up like this, watching cartoons. Whatever is more comfortable for you. Now, if you're in seal, what I like to do, or yeah, in seal pose, I like to move my hips side to side. Or if I'm in Sphinx, I could come down to Sleeping Sphinx, make a pillow with my forearms or my actual pillow and blanket. Let's hang out here for just a couple of breaths. We'll do a few more things and then we'll call this shindig a wrap because it's almost that time. And whenever you're ready, because you may want to hang out here, and that is totally fine, you're going to flip over to your back. I'm going to swing around this way. We're going to bring the knees in. It's like we're in fetal position a little bit. You can bring the chin in toward the knees. You can roll side to side. Whatever is comfortable for you. Meet your body where it's at. And if you're rolling back and forth and you tip over and you wobble over, just get back up. No big deal. So now I'm going to take my legs, I'm going to plant, or my feet, I'm going to plant them into the ground. Just to show the glutes some love a little bit, we'll do some bridging. On an inhale, we're going to raise the hips up, squeeze the glutes, or squeeze your butt, whatever you want to call it. And then on exhale, lower. Can you coordinate your breathing with your bridging? On an inhale, do a nice bridge. You can do a little bridging, you can do a lot of bridging, does not matter. And then exhale. We'll just do 2 or 3 more of those. So now, while our legs are still like this, I'm going to shift my hips. Okay. I'm going to shift my hips to the right. I'm going to drop my knees to the left. I'm going to make my arms into, ooh, foot cramp. Okay. Hopefully you don't get a foot cramp like I did. I'm going to take my arms, make them long. I'm going to look to the right. And again, if you need a pillow or a blanket to lay on, by all means, please do that. And then on an inhale, we're going to bring everything back to the center. And this time I'm going to move my hips to the left, drop my knees to the right. Make that same T-pose, arms nice and long. I'm going to look over my left arm, or look out to the left, whatever you want to call it. Now, if you're like me, you may notice your breathing, if it's not a little shortened or maybe a little bit more difficult to breathe, maybe you feel more inclined to hold your breath or grit your teeth. And again, stop it. Just breathe. Roll your jaw around. Put a gap in between your teeth. And then whenever you're ready, we are kind of going through things a little quickly. My apologies for that. We'll actually end with what's called Shavasana or corpse pose, horizontal life pause. So with this, you may want to, as the name implies, you may want to put a pillow down. You may want to lay on your pillow or a blanket. Just whatever is comfortable for you. Perhaps your arms are out to your side. They're out like a T, they're up, whatever is comfortable for you. We will end our practice in Shavasana. And this may just be for 2 or 3 minutes, but in these 2 or 3 minutes, I'd like to invite you to do absolutely nothing. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. Let your body sink into the floor. You might soften your gaze. And while you're still in your easy horizontal life pause, I'd like to invite you to listen to this following excerpt on love. It may sound familiar. If I speak in the tongues of mortals and of angels, but do not have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give away all my possessions, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not envious, boastful, arrogant, or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Just whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can come back up to an easy seated position. There's no rush. Maybe you want to linger in your horizontal life pause a little longer. Maybe you fell asleep. I've done that before. Plenty of times in class. And we'll close out with a community yoga breath. So we'll take a deep inhale and we'll haw it out. And we'll just do one more salute the sun, bring our hands together and come down into prayer pose. And with that, I'm very thankful, again, whether if you have joined us live or after the fact, you've taken the time to do some self-love, to do some gentle yoga. And the light in me sees the light in you. And I pray that peace be with you. Namaste.